Alphonse Louis Constance, known as Eliphas Levi, was talking about tarot, he said some bloody stupid things. One of the stupid things he said was that you could be someone basically living on a desert island with no other source of literature at all apart from a pack of tarot cards, and from that you will be able to work out every mystery in the universe and to be able to discuss eloquently nearly every subject on the face of the planet, inspired only with a pack of tarot cards. This is of course plain rubbish, and we can tell that because the sequencing of DNA would have been discovered many centuries or even, I don't know, millennia, possibly before the modern era, if that was the case. But unfortunately there was no major technological or scientific discoveries that were created purely as a result of tarot cards, so therefore we have to see these things in a different light and apply a certain level of sense and reason to what this is and what we can use it for. Taking into account that this is an expression of art, you know that because it's got pictures and numbers on it, it's therefore something which can help you in your contemplation about life itself, because it is art. Have you ever, I don't know, watched a movie that inspired you somehow because there's art in it and the art said something to you, and with a bit of further introspection you can see that there are other subplots and sub-stories, and that's essentially what tarot could possibly be all about. Alright, because it's there to help to inspire your creative problem solving and your abilities to think things through about some of the complex factors and issues that you go through in your life itself. Secondly, what about tarot spreads? That's another key subject which crops up once in a while because people also don't think through what they're trying to do with them. If you could imagine, alright, this isn't a table, that this is a stage, and that these are not pieces of card, but are actors on it, each with their own character, their own personality. You can then lay out a few of them, and then hey presto, what you got there is a couple of the key characters and key actors with their various different characteristics, expressed through color, symbols, number, various theological interpretations, and also what you might loosely call archetypes. Alright, then what does it actually mean in its own right? It doesn't have any meaning in its own right. It has meaning based upon context. Context is the question which is given to you by your inquirer, and context is the question that you ask the cards based upon the aspect of life you're trying to have a look at. For instance, if you deal out these three cards and the question is something along the lines of, how's my job interview going to go? You could say, well, you might have some concerns, but you're more skilled than you think you are, but you're going to have a good time, and there's a possibility of a time of celebration coming afterwards, so it's actually looking quite good. However, let's say there was a romantic question, it was just, does my boyfriend love me? I'd say that the emotionality is in place, there's intellectual issues that need to be worked upon, you may have some concerns because of some things you've seen within the relationship at the moment, but on the other hand, if you work through the complexities here, you can then end up at a better time. Do you see how that works now? Alright. What about the design of a spread? That can vary. That can vary because of the situation. Let's say you've got one lady who's inquiring about her boyfriend, so maybe you want to have one or two cards for her, one or two cards for her boyfriend, and something to define the nature of the connection, which is the sign or the card in the middle. So you got the signs on her side of things, her boyfriend's side of things, the energy going into the nature of the connection, and then you can create a projection into the future, short term, medium term, and long term, up to 3 months, up to 6 months, up to 9 months. There's your 3, there's your 6, there's your 9. Alright, so you got your stage set, you got your two actors in place, you got something which defines the essence of the nature of the relationship they've got, and you got a projection into the future. Let's say she is asking about two different men. Well, then you have another sign for the energy between her and whoever this other person is, and more signs for the individual in question. And you then create the story as best as you can based upon your intuition, based upon what you see before you. Do you understand how tarot readings work now?